Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Starting to the top left, we have the next player for Team Yoey FlashWolves. It's Lili. And, well, his real ID is Leenock. So that's a barcode ID, of course, but since in the overlay everything is caps locked, that's why you see that weird name on the board. Leenock is the fourth player for the FlashWolves, and we have all the way to the top right his Zerg opponent. It is Starbuck. So we currently have a very cool position for MouseSports. A 3-1 against Team FlashWolves is absolutely great, with Starbuck already being with the Sun already being eliminated by Starbuck. So very great spot for them to be in. Even if Leenock takes down Starbuck now, they still can react to their opponent's players. But of course, we might see Stun come back against MouseSports in the ace match as the ace player. For now, we have a Zerg versus Zerg, and Starbuck is going into the gas at 14, so 14 gas into 14 pool for him. Might go for the aggression against his opponent, who starts things off with a hatch first. Leenock, the second Korean player for the team, to the left side of the map. We currently have that second base, and in the main base, no pool just yet, cranking out a few more drones before he starts with the spawning pool. We already see the Overlord, of course, moving into position, and let's see how exactly Starbuck is going to play this. In a Zerg versus Zerg, he can maybe start to be the aggressor here and take down Leenock. Leenock definitely the player. Well, I think he's not the. I really think that San is the stronger player, at least the stronger all-around player. But, well, let's find out how exactly MouseSports is going to react to Leenock here. For now, of course, everything is going really well for them. Things started out great with Hero Marine taking 2 wins against the Taiwanese players, taking down Slam and Haas, and then Starbuck going up against San after the Protoss player for the FlashWolves was able to put a stop to Hero Marine's winning streak. So everything is going really well for the German team, but they haven't won it just yet. We've all seen ace players demolishing a team in the end and getting those wins, and MouseSports knows that this is going to be very tricky still. They started out well, they did the job, they did a good job so far, but they haven't won the match yet. So for now we have Leenock with his own spawning pool. He sees, of course, a few Zerglings rushing over. Starbuck is moving those to put some pressure on his opponent, and he's even building more than that. Speed has been started faster for Starbuck than it was started for Leenock. So you will have an advantage there. Can put some pressure on. Is he still mining gas though? Leenock is mining gas, Starbuck isn't, so he's only relying on his speed for now, and is not really bothering about anything else. That will not lead into banelings. The banelingness on the other hand is being built for the Zerg player. And, well, the nuclear launch that you just heard is, of course, not a nuclear launch in this game. That would, first of all, be a bit too early, and second of all, it would mean that a Terran player snuck a few ghosts into a Zerg versus Zerg to finally put an end to Kerrigan. Indeed, it's what it actually means. It's the notification for a new top donor in the month. So thank you very much for the support, whoever it was. We're going to check that out later when we have the Zerglings now rushing in, trying to go into the main base and do some damage in our ZVZ here, taking down a Ling and going straight for the Harvesters, but just trying to piss Leenock off a little bit, whereas he gets his own Baneling Nest. The Queen's already trying to block the spot, and Starbuck lost quite a few units with this move. He has his own expansion now up, and Leenock is starting to go back into the drone production, building 5 at a time, whereas Starbuck is just saying, like, who needs Harvesters? The only thing that I want is more units, and I want Banelings. So he's building them. We have 19 to 21 Harvesters now. Maybe another drone being sniped. Not quite yet. The ramp not occupied by the Queens anymore. But Ling's just rushing through, trying to take a quick look at what exactly Leenock is doing. And Leenock is still droning up. Leenock is still droning up. And where are the Zerglings for Starbuck? They're right over here. So we have them moving out, and the same is also true for Leenock. They are meeting each other. Few hits being taken. Nice! Well done by Starbuck so far. Leenock not seeing what's happening there. What about the Banelings though? Can he hide those? And no, he can't. So Banelings are there already being attacked, and does he get one of them? Well, yeah, he's gonna get at least 1 or 2. Probably gonna really decent trades there with them as well. And yep, 1 taken out, 2 taken out for 2 Zerglings each. So I don't think he's gonna be too unhappy about that. Leenock is starting to build a lot more units now that he saw that Starbuck is trying to be aggressive. But we have Starbuck moving back into the drone production, going up with another 5, and his harvest account will be superior to Leenock's. Leenock, of course, also moving in with additional Banelings, trying to make that work somehow, and maybe put aggression onto his opponent, maybe move in with a few Banelings into the main base and try to hit the mineral line. That's in the end what you are trying to aim for. But we now have the Roach Warren being built. for Starbuck. The first one to transition out, actually. Whereas now on the low ground, it's just once again Starbuck being forced back by Leenock, who is supply blocked, going for the double overlords. But we have now even spine crawlers being built. He wants to make sure that those banelings are not going to ruin his day. Leenock is not transitioning out of his composition, and if Starbuck is getting those roaches into play, then it's going to be difficult for Leenock in the late game. Well, not really the late game, the mid game. It all comes down to if there is a +1 attack upgrade and if there are enough roaches to really make it work. But for now, it's just about the lings and the banelings. 2 for 2, and the banelings are moving in. Oh, yes, once again, 2 for 2. Nice pre-split on those harvesters. Lings are rushing in as well, and suddenly Starbuck is in a bit of trouble, but so far the banelings for Leenock didn't really do a lot of damage. And he gets another queen. No, he doesn't. Doesn't get the queen just yet, but there are no reinforcements down here. Where's the army? He's building the roaches now. The harvest account is 35 against 32. Still very well done by Starbuck here, I have to say. That was well done. That was really well done. Resources lost 2,000 against 1,800. But if you think about how those banelings rushed in, that was really a pretty decent defense that we saw by Starbuck. 7 harvesters lost in the end, but he has the roaches now. He has the roach tech, and he can utilize those now. Could get another base, could at least make sure that his third is safe. Banelings are not going to be an issue for him, at least not now. Later on, Leenock will of course still be able to use those. It's not like they are useless at this point, but you can't go for aggression with slow banelings if your opponent already has roaches and you can't really match his numbers. So that's just simply not going to work. The harvest account is already in favor of Starbuck with 39 against 34. Leenock is getting his own banelings, his own roaches now, but the lair tech has started for his opponent, so the roaches just being used for the defense here. And all the way to the top. Let's see, we have in the main base the lair tech started. We have +1 attack upgrade, faster for Leenock than it is for Starbuck. That's also an interesting touch there. We have at the same time Spinecrawler built at the front, so Starbuck is playing this a bit more defensive, and Leenock on those 2 bases is still trying to move in. Those banelings are becoming useful once again if he has his own roaches and is able to connect with his opponent's units, since then he will just use that burst damage to take down the clustered up units of Starbuck. So Leenock with a decent game so far. Harvester count 40 against 30. Army supply, I meant to say. Worker supply is identical as it happens. But yeah, it comes to the defense. There we go. 1 baneling taken out. Nice. The baneling's not doing a lot. The banelings did not really do a lot of damage for Leenock, and he realized that too. Nice splits by Starbuck. He could be a Terran player. Did you see that? If he has Stim, those splits are gonna be amazing. Even without the speed upgrade, he made it work. But yeah, he's getting the speed upgrade now. And, well, the roach numbers are still in favor of Leenock, but only by a small margin. It's 14 to... Well, actually, no, it's 14-14. Third base has started, so Starbuck needs to do something about that. Either take a third on his own, or just move in and do some damage. The problem, of course, for him is that there is currently no upgrade for him. He has the speed upgrade, and he's going for Burrow. Might go for Burrow movement, too, but he has no +1 attack upgrade or anything like it. Yeah, few circlings into the main base. Shouldn't really be a big issue if he uses the drones to take them down in conjunction with the queen. And that's exactly what we see there. Queen takes it on, so not a lot of trouble that he ran into there. Overseer is being chased away as speed is kicking in very soon. That will allow Starbuck to be a bit more aggressive than Leenock. To do some damage with the roaches here. But, well, for now we have those roaches just moving towards that third base. That's what he wants to kill. Roach numbers are in favor of Leenock, 28 to 21, and he has the +1 attack upgrade completed. Starbuck is definitely losing a lot of ground here. Leenock has the better army, he has the better upgrades, and he's catching up in tech. So, let's see. We currently see the third base also done, so that will allow Leenock to get the better economy, at least for now. Still trying to chase down a few of the roaches that Starbuck has, but it's speed upgrade against non-speed upgrade, at least for the next 5 seconds. I don't think that he can snipe the base. He can snipe the queen, though. Gets the queen. Okay, doesn't get more than that. He might be able to take down Harvester too. No, but he burrows one of his roaches, 2 of the roaches. If that's something that Leenock missed, then, no, Leenock didn't miss it. Leenock is building overseers already and has a roach over at the third base of his opponent, scouting that, and also trying, of course, to do some damage to potential drones in the mineral line that are not there yet. +2 attack upgrade has been started for Leenock, and yeah, MouseSports is probably evaluating this game already and thinking about who could be a potential third player for them if Starbuck is not able to make that work. Hazorps and Vortex are the last two players that they have before they have to choose an ace player. In regards to the Harvest account, we have 49 against 47. We see roaches, and more roaches for Leenock, in total 34 against 35. So Leenock in a lead with the Harvesters, but the army supply is a bit better for Starbuck. Just a little bit. Plus one attack upgrade is nearly done for him. That will, at least for a short amount of time, put him on even upgrades with his opponents. Also the speed upgrade for the Banelings that we see for him. That's very much what we usually see for Snoot. Snoot likes to play with Banelings and roaches as well. So here comes, well, Leenock moving in with his army, trying to force it. The upgrades are the same. It's 1-1 versus 1-1, and, well, Leenock realizes that this was a very bad idea. Suddenly, he's losing a lot of units. Resources lost, already better for Starbuck. And the Harvester count now, not the Harvester count, but the Roach count is 38 against 36. Two are eliminated, whereas suddenly Starbuck is making his way over to the left side, is trying to juke his opponent out a bit. But yeah, these units are streaming in. And how many units do we have for Leenock? Apparently too many for Starbuck. And he's flanked. He's being flanked here. This is an interesting battle that we see. Burrow being used. Oh, I love it. And here's the army together. That was a nice use, getting the army sizes together once again. Starbuck moving in, has to move back now, though, especially since the +2 attack upgrade is about to be done. We do not see the Banelings yet, only 2 of them, but the Baneling speed is nearly completed. And that's something that he has to use, because Leenock is currently controlling the bigger army, only by a small margin. Once again, 108 against 107. It's very, very similar. But of course, Burrow helps with a hit point regeneration here. It helps him quite a bit. The reinforcements need to move in. He regenerates a few hit points, but in the end, if that's going to really matter, that's another question. Of course, by now, Leenock already has an overseer there. Banelings are starting to move in, getting a few hits off, but not the best. Starbuck still in a decent supply situation, but he's fighting without the Spinecrawler that he has at the back there. He's taking down Leenock's count of roaches, though, and the reinforcements, they stream in once again. Starbuck is doing a pretty decent job with this, even saving his queens with the Burrow, and he can always use the Burrow Roach for just the hit point regeneration, which he does. That gives him the boost that he needs there. And, well, that might help him with the sustainability, especially since he has another Roach already to the left side of the map, taking down a few Harvesters. Resources or Harvesters lost 9 against 3. Still better for Leenock than for Starbuck. In regards to the units that we have on the map, 35 against 36. Leenock with a +2 armor attack upgrade, whereas the armor upgrade is now being researched for Leenock as well, +2 for Starbuck. We do not see Banelings. He researched Baneling speed, but he does not build Banelings yet. Now we have a few Zerglings being built, but not too many of those either. So Starbuck is once again behind in supply, but he can still win this game. He's behind in upgrades, but it comes down to really position, composition, and of course where you engage your opponent. And I guess with Burrow movement, he could even move in with a few roaches and take down his opponent. Does he have Burrow movement? I don't think he does. No, Burrow is the only upgrade that he has now. Army supply is now at 129 against 110. Leenock is really starting to get ahead in this, but, well, Banelings might be able to change things. If he gets really good Banelings hit off here on creep, he might be able to make that work. The Banelings on the way, and they are trying to move in, and there we go. Banelings for the hits. Nice blitz by Leenock. Oh my god. Terran players are dropping their jaw. They are looking at this. They are stunned and facing this split with awe. But look at that concave for Leenock. Oh my god. Leenock with 150 supply against Starbuck's 130, but Starbuck is not done just yet. Can he use Burrow? No, he can't. We have the Overseers there. Leenock is streaming in. Army supply currently in favor of Leenock with 78 against 62. He's moving back for now, but he has that +1 armor upgrade done in just a little bit. He's already working with the better upgrades, and this is only going to increase over time for him. The resources lost by now in favor of Starbuck still, but for how long? That's the question. With Leenock still being on his 3 bases with a few more Harvesters than, of course, Starbuck has. Actually 10 additional Harvesters. He has the better income. He's getting the roaches. He has that armor upgrade, so even when Starbuck has the +2 attack. He's still going to be behind in upgrades. The Banelings were a cute idea. They did some damage, but the splits were great. And now we have a 4th base built for Leenock as he's trying to make his way over towards that natural, forcing Starbuck to put out his unit as a response. And Starbuck is moving in. This game is not over yet, but Leenock is still in the lead. The Roach numbers 40 against 40, and well, Leenock has to move back for now, waiting for his transition into the Infestors. And if that happens, then of course Starbuck is going to fall even behind in tech, which would be absolutely horrible for him. We have him at this point with a decent army, but he needs a good concave. He needs a victory, and I'm not quite sure how exactly he's going to get that. If he gets those Banelings, that would be amazing. A good Baneling hit can do a lot for you in a match like this. Against a clustered up Roach army, it's absolutely incredible. But so far, Leenock was on top of his splits, and that was all that he needed to do. Burrow upgrade is now being researched for Leenock, as well as the infestation bit completed. The 4th base is nearly done, with an army already sent out, I guess, to take that on. Did he see it though? I'm not sure. Yes, he saw it earlier, so he knows about it. He knows about the 4th, and that is of course putting Starbuck on a clock. But Leenock is taking a massive overall supply, 130 against 110 army supply. Well, Leenock certainly knows his ZBZ, sniping a queen and moves in with the Roaches again. He's playing this patient. He knows that he has the lead. With that 4th base being saturated, the Infestors being built. Why attack? There's no reason. There's absolutely no reason for him to attack now. He doesn't really have to do that. We have the first Infestors being built, and that is all that he has to do there. So, well, we have Roaches moving in, Infestor support, 4th base on the way, and Starbuck is still on 3 bases. The only thing that he can do is basically max out with army supply and try to win the next fight and snowball. That's what he has to do. That is what he kind of has to do to win that game now. Because if he loses the next battle, or if he just simply trades cost efficiently against his opponent, then Leenock is going to win this. With a 4th base, the better harvester count, the tech lead, upgrade lead, and Infestors, yeah, Leenock would win it. So Starbuck has to win it now. And here come, nice dodge on those fungals. We have an attack over at that 4th. Really well done, splitting a few units off. What about the Banelings? Can they get in? They're trying to, but a fungal could already put an end to them. And here we go. Banelings are being fungal. They didn't do anything in this last fight. We have the armor upgrade for Leenock that gives him an edge against the Roaches of his opponent. The 4th base of Leenock is going down. It's being eliminated, but that doesn't matter since the entire army that we see for Starbuck is taken out. And here come the Roach forces of Leenock, making their way over to the top right to put an end to Starbuck after the Zerg player of MouseSports obliterated San. It's time for Leenock now to put point number 2 onto the board for his team. Starbuck is going to fight this, of course, but things are looking more than grim for him. Roaches here being burrowed, that's a nice touch. That's at least allowing Starbuck to do a bit more damage, but the big problem really still being that it's now Infestor Roaches against simply only Roaches, and the upgrades are still better for Leenock, and Starbuck is eventually gonna run out of them. 51 Roaches against 43, 5 Infestors. A fungal against this army would force a fight, and so far it's already starting to move back. Where's the fungal? Where's the fungal? There's the fungal, and that forces the battle that Starbuck does not want to fight. He's losing his Roaches there, he's losing everything down here. We still have one Roach doing some damage to the economy, but yeah, resources lost by now, of course, in favor of Leenock, as he won the last 2 or 3 battles, and now he's going in once again with a 40 supply overall lead, 50 supply army lead for Leenock now. Starbuck is really starting to struggle. There's the drones that even move in, and another fungal. He just moves back. These Roaches cannot participate in the fight for long, and Starbuck, of course, knows that this is also a very desperate move. He already knows that he's in trouble. He knows that this is not going to be a match where he will win it again and force out the ace player for the FlashWolves just yet. It's going to be up to player number 3 and player number 4 to make that happen. The Roaches of Leenock at the 3rd base of Starbuck, claiming victory for his team, taking down the Roach forces of Starbuck and taking the game as well. It is the GG. Starbuck leaves and Leenock wins game number 2 for the FlashWolves.